Hello everyone, my name is Soren and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at every single furry convention that exists. At least, all of the ones on WikiFur's list. There's this super handy website called WikiFur. I'll make sure to leave a link down in the description. They've got a list of all, or at least most, of the furry conventions that exist. It's the most conclusive list I've been able to find anywhere, and trying to track down extra individual cons that I don't know about is kind of exhausting. So today I'm just going to go through this list, when the con is, where it is, and if I have been there, what my thoughts on it are in like a couple sentences or less. There's a ton of cons, so I want to try and get through this very quickly if we can. And I am going to have to break the magic on this one. Also, I'm going to be going through these in chronological order throughout the year. Events that have already happened in January and maybe this weekend in February, I'm going to be skipping over or just being very brief about them. Don't worry, if I know if the event will be happening next year, I will make sure to let you know. The very first furry convention of 2024 is Anthro Northwest in Seattle, Washington. Anthro Northwest is a great mid-size con. They've got somewhere in the range of 2,500 attendees this year. It was held January 4th through 7th of 2024, and as far as I know, it's going to be held the same weekend next year. I have been to Anthro Northwest in 2019, and it was a fantastic con. I have a ton of friends that live in the area, so I try to make it to that one when I can. I also did a vlog for that con. You can see that if you click up here in the annotation card. Our next con, also happening the same weekend, starting January 5th and running through the 7th, is JMOF, also called Japan's Meeting of Furries. When I was doing the research for this video, reading up on all of these cons, I thought that this con was going to be in Tokyo, because that's the biggest city in Japan. It is in Toyohashi. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not fluent in Japanese at all. I don't speak any Japanese. I've never been to JMOF. I have heard good things from the very few people that I know that have been to it. I would love to go sometime. Also January 5th through 7th, Painted Desert Fur Con, also called PDFC. PDFC is in Paradise Valley, Arizona, which is a suburb of Phoenix. The 2022 to 23 version of the con actually took place over New Year's weekend, and that con had a little over 1,000 attendees, so it's one of the smaller mid-sized cons. This year it was held January 5th to 7th, and I have not been able to get any information about when the next iteration of this convention will be happening. I would guess you could find out on their Twitter. I didn't check there. Their website still has the 2024 information on there. The next convention for January was Further Confusion, held January 11th to 15th. I did a whole vlog about that just came out last week. If you didn't see that vlog, go watch it. I thought it was a really fun con. I had a blast. Got to hang out with a bunch of friends that I haven't seen in a long time, and I got to make some new friends. All in all, great con, very much a party con. If you're into the party cons, that's a good one to go party at. Also held that weekend for a slightly shorter time, January 12th to 14th, was the Midwinter Frolic, which was formerly called Ware Camp. This is a camping convention held in Whitewater State Park in Minnesota. I wasn't able to find any information on the exact number of attendees. I don't know if they released that or not. If you're interested in a con like that, go in the description, check out the WikiFur articles, links to all of these conventions' websites. It's the easiest way to find all of that information. January 18th through 21st is Anthro New England in Massachusetts. I have never been to this one. I know a lot of people that go to it, and I've always heard good things about it, although this year I didn't hear fantastic things about it. That mostly having to do with photography and videography. I'm not going to get into that right now. I don't want to be a drama channel. And in 2025, it will be January 16th to 19th. Also happening that same weekend across the Atlantic in France is Canthro. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's held at a holiday village in, I am so sorry, French people, Saint-Soir d'Auvergne in France. I'll put it in here. It's in France. Some holiday village in France. And they don't have information on 2025 posted on their website just yet. According to their website, Canthro happens at a ski resort, so if you are in France or nearby countries in Europe and you like skiing, that might be a convention to check out. February 1st through 4th is Anthro Expo, held in Oklahoma. Anthro Expo is held in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. First year it was held was apparently 2020. It must have been one of those cons that barely got off the ground before COVID started. In 2023, they had 896 attendees. That convention is happening as I'm filming this. I don't know what their attendance is going to be because, like I said, I'm filming this and it's happening down in Oklahoma right now. Also happening this weekend over in Oregon is Get Out the Float. Get Out the Float is held in Seaside, Oregon, February 2nd through 4th of 2024. This is specifically an inflatables themed furry convention, so if you really are into the pool toys, this is a con for you. Also happening this weekend, February 2nd through 5th, is ScotiaCon, held in Glasgow, Scotland. Never been to ScotiaCon. I've heard good things from the people that I do know that have been there. This year it was held February 2nd through 5th, going on right now over in Scotland. So I obviously don't know what it's going to be like this year. And now we are finally to the part of the video where all of these cons will be happening in the future. So you should actually start paying attention now, because these are cons that you could actually go to if you're looking to go to a convention and you don't know where the nearest one to you is. Pay attention. The next one, happening February 10th through 13th in Brazil, is Fur Camp, held in Sao Paulo. I don't know anything about this convention. I've never been to Brazil. I also don't speak Portuguese, so I probably won't be going to this convention anytime soon. Fur Camp is the only con happening the weekend of February 10th to 13th, but February 21st through 25th, there's actually 4 conventions. So I'm going to rattle these off real quickly. February 21st to 25th is Nordic FuzzCon. This one is held in Malmö, Sweden. February 22nd to 25th is Furry Ski Weekend, held in Colorado at Copper Mountain, not Vail. Also happening February 22nd to 25th is Fur Squared in Wisconsin. I've never been to that one. It's a short-ish drive from me. I could do that in a day-ish, I think. I should look into going to Fur Squared at some point. It is a pretty close con. Other than that, I don't know anything about it. I've never been to it. And last but not least, happening February 23rd through 25th is Melbourne Fur Con in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. I have been to Australian furry conventions. I've never been to this furry convention, but I have been to Melbourne. It's a fantastic city. I love visiting. All of the Australian furries that I know have been super nice. Check out that furry convention if you can. The weekend after that, February 28th through March 3rd, is a Polish furry convention. And I'm going to do my best on the name here. GdaCon? I don't speak Polish. I'm so sorry. It's held in Gdansk. Last year it happened around the same weekend, March 1st through 5th of 2023, and they had 460 attendees. If you are in the Poland or surrounding countries region, maybe check out GdaCon. Next is one in Canada. March 7th through 10th is Vancouver in Vancouver, British Columbia. Never been to this convention. I meant to go a couple years back and something came up and I wasn't able to. I don't remember what, but some of my friends did and they told me it was a great time. If you're in the Vancouver area or maybe even the Seattle area, go on up into Canada or down into Vancouver and check it out. Vancouver in 2023 had 1,500 attendees, just over. So it's a good mid-sized convention, probably one of the bigger ones in Canada. Also happening that same weekend, March 8th through 10th, is Furthermore. In 2023, Furthermore had 1,620 attendees in, I'm not sure about this one actually. It says it's held in Maryland and Virginia, and from what I gather from skimming the Wikifur article real quick, is it was originally held in Maryland, now it's held in Virginia. 2023's location was Crystal City, Arlington, Virginia. Probably still there, but I don't know. Make sure to check out their website for more information. The next convention is Furry Fiesta, happening March 14th through 17th in Dallas. In 2022, their attendance was 5,673 attendees, which makes them one of the biggest furry conventions. I have actually never been to Furry Fiesta. I can't tell you if it's a good con, but with that many attendees going, they must be doing something right. Also happening that weekend is Gateway Fur Meet, happening in St. Louis, Missouri, if I had to guess. Their attendance in 2023 was 744, so a smaller convention, and that's pretty understandable given the fact that Texas Furry Fiesta is happening that weekend. And also, as mentioned earlier, Fernal Equinox, happening up in Toronto, Ontario, that same weekend, March 15th through 17th. Fernal Equinox had an attendance of 3,338 in 2023, so a very good mid to larger size convention. The next one is a single-day con in Oslo, Norway called Påsk Party. It's going to be held March 29th And that's all the info I have on that one. March 29th through 31st is Las Vegas FurCon in Las Vegas, also called LVFC. I've never been to this one, but I have some friends that have been to it before, and they enjoyed it very much. In 2023, they had 1,483 attendees, so a pretty good mid-sized con. A con in Las Vegas just feels kind of right, you know? The last one happening the last weekend of March is March 29th through April 2nd, called Fawntastic. Fawn like a baby deer. This one is another one happening in France, although this one is in Lyon. I have never been to Lyon, and I've never been to Fawntastic. In 2023, they had 338 attendees, so a much smaller convention. If you ask me, some of the smaller conventions actually turn out to be the best experiences. I highly recommend looking for a small local con and going to that one before you go to a giant one like AnthroCon or Midwest Fur Fest. The next con we will be discussing very, very briefly is Motor City FurCon, April 4th through 7th. This one is happening in Southfield, Michigan, which I believe is a suburb of Detroit. I've never been to MCFC. In 2022, they had 1,300 attendees, and that is the latest numbers they've announced. So a decent small to mid-sized con. Also happening that same weekend, all the way over on the West Coast, April 5th through 7th is Golden State FurCon. April 5th is my birthday, so either of those would work as my birthday con. 2023 was held at the Hilton LAX Airport Hotel with 1,800 attendees. A con at LAX, like, I was just stuck in LAX getting back from further confusion, and LAX kind of sucks. After that, we have Furcation Land happening April 12th through 14th in Portland, Maine. I don't know anything about that one, but they had 822 attendees in 2023. Also happening that same weekend, April 12th through 14th, is Woods Flock. This is happening in Tennessee. It doesn't say a city. It is not happening in a city. It is happening in Falls Creek State Park. At least that's where it was hosted in 2022. I'm not 100% sure that this con is still running. Their website says the page can't be found. So if you or someone you know is going to Woods Flock and you have more information about it, maybe drop it down in the comments. Happening the weekend after that, April 19th through 21st, is Furry down in Brisbane, in Queensland, Australia. Gold Coast, my bad. Which is like, it's near Brisbane, I think? I'm not sure. I have always heard great things about Furry. I would love to go. In 2023, they had 1,219 attendees. I suppose that's a pretty big con considering Australia. HCFC wasn't nearly that big. I would love to go to Furry in Australia at some point. That's the only one happening that weekend. But the next weekend, May 3rd through 5th, we have Garden State for the Weekend, which is happening in, appropriately, the Garden State. Garden State for the Weekend in 2024 will be May 3rd through 5th. Garden State for the Weekend has never been done before, so I don't have attendance data for last year because it didn't happen last year. If you're a local to the New Brunswick, New Jersey area, maybe go check out Garden State for the weekend. Also happening that same weekend is Furry Weekend Holland, May 3rd through 6th. Furry Weekend Holland is a private furry convention, so it might be invite only, I'm not sure. They don't have attendance data listed, and like I said, because it's private, it might be invite only. But happening the weekend after that in Atlanta, Georgia is the famous Furry Weekend Atlanta, May 9th through 12th. In 2023, they had over 10,000 attendees, which puts it, I'm pretty sure, in the top 3. Like I said earlier, with that many attendees, I think they're probably doing pretty well for themselves. I don't think people would keep going to the con if it was awful, so the fact that it's growing as much as it has seems to say to me that they are doing something right. Happening the weekend after that, in May 15th through 19th, is Zodiacon. Zodiacon is happening in Horní Bradlo in the Czech Republic. I hope I'm saying that right. I do speak a tiny bit of Czech, but not enough to pronounce the words, because I can hear the words and understand some of them, but I can't speak it. It's Czech. You have 2 years of grammar school. What's that about? I've never been to Zodiacon or any other Czech convention, but I have been to the Czech Republic several times, and the people there are fantastic. I love the Czech Republic, and I would love to go to a Czech con someday. Also happening that same weekend, May 16th through 20th, is Mefit Minicon. This one is happening Freusburg in Germany. I think I'm saying that right. Mefit Minicon has been running since 1998. That con is almost as old as I am. Happening May 18th through 19th is Osaka Furry Fun Festa, not Fiesta, Festa. I don't know if that's a Japanese word, but it is held in Osaka, Japan. In 2023, they had 542 attendees, including 331 fursuits. Anthro, Ohio and Furlandia are both May 24th through 26th. Those are both a couple thousand, like 1,000 to 2,000 attendee conventions. I have been to Furlandia many times, and I will be there again this year. I've never been to Anthro, Ohio, because it's usually the same weekend as Furlandia, and I go to Furlandia because I got a lot of friends and family in that area. So I don't know how Anthro, Ohio is. Furlandia is a great mid-sized, chill convention, mid to smaller size at least. So come see me if you're going to be there. Also happening that weekend, but going to the 28th, so that'll be May 24th through 28th, is Confuzzled, which happens in Birmingham, England. May 31st through June 2nd is Stratosphere in Texas. I think this one's in Houston, Texas. Yes, Houston, Texas. The first iteration of this convention was in 2021, and they do not have attendance data listed. June 14th through 16th is CastleCon. Never heard of this one before, but based on the flag, it looks like it's in Germany. They have not announced attendance data for several years, possibly because it's a camping event held in Baden-Württemberg, Germany. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right because I don't speak German either. But just once more in case you missed it, June 14th through 16th, CastleCon in Germany. The next convention is held June 29th through July 6th of this year, planned to be, I should say, Pingzhou in Salzburg. Salzburg, it's in Austria. I have been to Austria and Salzburg. I did not know that there was a furry convention there being held June 29th through July 6th. So I don't know if it's any good, but Salzburg is a ton of fun to visit and tour around, especially if you're a fan of the movie The Sound of Music, which was my favorite movie when I was a little kid. The next one, July 4th through 7th, is the big one that everyone has been waiting for, Anthrocon in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I have been to Anthrocon twice, 2018 and 19, and I will hopefully be going back this year if I can get a hotel room. We will see. Anthrocon is one of the most attended conventions ever, with like 13,000 attendees last year. Personally, I think Anthrocon is way bigger than MFF because all of Pittsburgh is the convention. The whole city celebrates. It's like a festival of the city. MFF, Rosemont, Illinois kind of seems indifferent. Anthrocon, I highly recommend, especially if you're looking for a really big furry convention. Anthrocon is the one to go to. I cannot recommend it enough. It is so much fun. Happening that same weekend, but not in the United States, in fact, it is happening in Singapore, is Little Island FurCon. In 2023, they had 290 attendees. I've never been to Singapore. If it is fun, let me know. After that, we've got July 18th through 21st, Furry in Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, to clarify. In 2023, Furry had 1,594, so almost 1,600 attendees, and raised almost $17,000 for charity. Good job, Canada. Also happening that same weekend, July 19th through 21st, is Brazil Fur Fest. This one is happening in Sao Paulo, Brazil, and has been ongoing since 2016. In 2023, they had 911 attendees, so they're getting up there, doing pretty well, especially for Brazil. Also happening that weekend over in France, July 19th through 21st, is Fur Day, happening in, oh boy, another big scary French word, Bernières-sur-Mer in France. It is kind of interesting to note, July 4th through 7th is Anthrocon, and all of the furry conventions in the United States know that they're not going to compete with Anthrocon, so the next furry convention isn't until July 20th, in the US at least. July 20th, there is a one-day con called Euphoria. This is a furry convention taking place in Albany. In 2023, they had 65 attendees, and I think that might be why nobody puts their con so close to Anthrocon. July 25th through 28th, we have Awustria happening in Vienna, Austria. This one is planned, and this year is supposed to be their first iteration. So good luck, Austria. July 26th through 28th is Aurora, Sydney in Australia. They did not announce attendance for 2023, but in 2022 their attendance was 324, which I think is fairly similar to what the attendance was at HCFC when I went to a Sydney Furry Convention in 2019. August 8th through 11th is Furrydelphia in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and in 2023 had 2,500 attendees. August 14th through 18th is East, or EAST. It's all in capitals, so I'm not exactly sure. This one is held in Ringberg in Germany. August 23rd through 25th is Denver in Colorado. You know, I will be at Denver again. I love Denver. I had a fantastic time. You've probably seen this video, but just in case you haven't, here is my attendance at Denver this last year. I was also there in 2018 and 2019 when it was getting off the ground. Fantastic con, absolutely loved it. Definitely will be going back. Denver this last year in 2023 had, I want to say, 4,232. The weekend after that is August 30th through September 1st. There will be 3 cons happening all in the United States, all that weekend, all competing with each other. I'm gonna rattle them off real quickly. Megaplex, which is the one that I will also be going to, back to back with Denver. Ooh, that's gonna suck. Also happening that weekend is Meffit Fur Meet, which is just outside of Memphis, although technically it's in Mississippi. It's basically Memphis. And lastly is Tails and Tornadoes in Oklahoma. I believe that one's in Tulsa? Yes, in Tulsa. Like I said, all of those conventions are being held August 30th through September 1st. The weekend after that is Furry Migration, September 6th through 8th, and I am just now realizing that we are going to be doing Denver and then Megaplex and then Furry Migration weekend to weekend to weekend. Oh, that's gonna be brutal. Furry Migration is held in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's a good, smaller to mid-sized con. I had a lot of fun. I want to say they had like 1,200 attendees? 1,700. Okay, so a little bigger than I thought, but not significantly. The next con to happen is September 18th through 21st, and that is in Europe, in Germany, Eurofurrence. I think this is the biggest furry convention in Europe. For location, it says Germany and other European countries. I didn't realize it moved around. Apparently, it happened in Sweden and the Netherlands and the Czech Republic a couple of times. But since 2004, has always been held in Germany. In 2023, they had 3,500 attendees, so it is a pretty solid big con. I would love to go to Eurofurrence at some point. That's probably not going to be happening anytime soon. September 27th through 29th, we have Furry Takeover in North Carolina. Furry Takeover will be held at the Fontana Dam Resort in North Carolina. In 2023, they had an attendance of 374, so a nice little local con. October 4th through 6th, we have Western Pennsylvania Furry Weekend. This one has been going on for quite a while, their first iteration being in 2006. In 2023, they had a 519 person attendance. Never been to that one either, but I know it's been around for a while. October 11 through 13, we have Alamo City Furry Invasion. This one is happening, of course, in San Antonio, Texas. I've been to San Antonio. It's a nice city. I've never been to this furry convention. October 14th through 17th is Biggest Little Fur Con in Reno, Nevada. That's right, it's the midweek convention now. I forgot about that. So BLFC used to be a weekend furry convention, but now it's midweek for some reason, which doesn't really work for me or most people because they got jobs and stuff to do during midweek. I went to BLFC in 2018. It was a lot of fun. It was a little overhyped for me, so I think I would have had a lot more fun if one of my friends hadn't really hyped it up a ton. But I did have fun. In 2023, they had a 4,100 person attendance. Their peak was actually back in 2019 when they had almost 5,700 attendees. So the midweek thing is not going so well for them. October 23rd through 27th is Golden Leaves Fur Con. Sorry, just Golden Leaves Con. There's no fur at this furry convention, apparently. Golden Leaves Con is held in Switzerland. In 2023, they had an attendance of 289, which is pretty small. I kind of figured Switzerland would have a bigger con. Hasselberg, Switzerland. I have been to Switzerland. I absolutely loved it. I would love to go back and go to Golden Leaves Con at some point. Probably not this year, maybe next year, maybe the year after that. I don't know. We'll see. Our next convention, my goodness, we're still going. November 8th through 10th, there's actually 3 conventions happening that weekend as well. So I'm going to rattle them off real quickly again. We have Aquatafur in Wisconsin Dells. I've been to that one. It's a nice, small local convention at a water park. Around 500 attendees, I want to say it was. Also happening that weekend is PawCon in San Francisco Bay Area, California. Also happening that weekend is Halloween. It's a week after Halloween. In Richmond, BC, it's near Vancouver. In 2023, they had 702 attendees. It's basically the other half of the year's Vancouver, but it's Halloween, but not on Halloween. It's the weekend after that. November 22nd through 25th, we have Furcation. Furcation will be in Brand Sands in Somerset in the UK, November 22nd through 25th. December 5th through 8th, as usual, the first weekend in December. The last weekend in November or first weekend in December, roughly around there, is where Midwest Fur Fest pretty much always is. Midwest Fur Fest is held in Rosemont, Illinois, which is just Chicago O'Hare Airport. Midwest Fur Fest is currently the biggest furry convention to have ever happened. In 2023, they had 15,547 attendees, which is just insane. I like MFF. It's a pretty good con. It's run well. It's at a good time of year. It's nice and cool out. I've been to MFF a few times. Here's a vlog about it. It's so many people in such a small space, and 15,000. Last time I was there, it was like 10,000. So add another 50%, it was already crowded. My goodness. Also happening December 11th through 15th in Poland, somewhere in Poland. They not have a city on this one either. I don't know how to say this word. Look at this Polish. This word. What does that say? I don't know. Futroleczki? Why is the L crossed out? Is that an L? I don't speak Polish. That's happening in Poland, December 11th through 15th. And last but not least, we have December 31st, the New Year's Furry Ball. It happens overnight from December 31st to January 1st of the new year. New Year's Furry Ball had 725 attendees for the 22-23 ball, but they have not listed the 23-24 numbers yet. That's this whole list. It's a very long list. If there was a convention in there that I missed for whatever reason, please let me know down in the comments, not only so that I know about it, so that other people who also want to go to furry conventions can go check it out. Also, this list is continuously updated on wikifur.com, so if you want to see an updated version of this list, especially if this video has been out for a couple weeks, a couple months, a year or two, go to the link in the description. It'll be the first one at the very top for wikifur.com, and you can see the list of every con happening anywhere on the planet as long as it's on that list. I don't know of any cons that aren't on that list that I know for sure are happening or have happened. But thank you guys very much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one, and I gotta go get out of suit. I am so hot. I will see you guys in the next video, or also at Furlandia or Anthrocon. Those are the only two conventions that I have concrete plans for right now. So, yeah. See you guys in the next one. Bye! Alright, get these paws off me.